Hey everybody, welcome back. We are once again working on Vincent from the Black Hole. This is a model being re-released after 45 years. Originally by MPC, it's now being re-released by Round 2. And in my last video, we did most of the major construction for our friendly little hero robot. Now the kit is molded in color, in silver, in chrome, in clear, and in red. So if you weren't going to paint it, this is about what the model would look like. I am going to paint it, however. So in this video, we are going to finish the model. We will paint it, we will decal it, and at the end, we'll have it nicely completed. So the first thing we have to do is address the problems with this kit. And once again, coming out 45 years ago, there are quite a few fit problems. So let's get into it. The biggest gaps are really right in these red parts that are inlaid in the silver piece. So you can see gaps along the side here. All four pieces have pretty significant gaps down on the bottom. That one's probably the most egregious. But all these will need a little bit of putty. The putty I'm going to be using is a plastic putty that's not quite sandable, so we'll just fill it in, smooth it out, and then we'll paint over it. The next tool we'll be using are a couple jeweler's files. You can see here that we have, in order to prevent gaps, we used a glue that melts the plastic and we squeezed it together pretty hard. This just kind of makes a little bit of a raised edge right where that glue seam is. We'll be using some jeweler files to sand those down without losing much of the detail. There are quite a few parts where we're just going to be sanding. We're going to be wet sanding with 600 grit sandpaper over those seams. This seam, and of course the seams down here on these legs. All right, the most difficult part is probably going to be right here. And you can see that where these two came together, we actually have a raised edge, and that's probably gonna be too big to sand. So we'll probably carve this kind of with an X-Acto knife and then clean it up afterwards. The other side, not as bad, but once again, you can see a little bit of a raised edge. And overall, a lot of just sanding over all of these areas that we've glued. Starting off with the plastic putty, we are just squeezing it into the seam. We really don't need to do much here. We just need something in the seam to catch the paint. So once it's in, just smooth it out with a wet Q-tip. Any parts that dry afterwards are easily rubbed off, but just clean it up a little bit and it'll fill that in pretty nicely. And we're gonna do that on all of those red parts. Next, the easiest seam to cover is actually this on the little ball thing. Just floating build, run with some sandpaper, take care of that seam nice and easy. And I also did the same thing on the leg extensions. Now, moving on to some of these more difficult ones, once again, just using a jeweler's file. And on this piece, all I really want to do is take away that stair step where those two pieces meet. You can see they don't match up. So we're just going to run the jeweler's file in between there until we've taken some mass off of the higher parts. Once again, there are seams on almost all of these pieces. So these little claw pieces, we're just using a jeweler's file to go over all of those seams, smooth it out. So once we get it painted, it'll look a lot better and you don't have that molding seam kind of causing some problems. Now going back to painting, I've gone ahead and I've masked off all the clear parts that need to stay clear. And I thought what I'd start with is actually airbrushing the eyes. I don't want to do white over red, so I'm just going to do white over the eyes first. Then we're going to mask off the eyes and do the red on all the parts, all the other parts. So the white is now masked off. I'm airbrushing the red, and we also have all the clear parts masked off. Now, this didn't actually work. The red actually creeped up underneath that mask and it got the eyes. He looked really bloodshot at one point. So I had to go back, mask off the red, and airbrush the white on there again. I've also airbrushed, this is the first coat of airbrushing, for kind of the black undercarriage for V.I.N.C.E.N.T. So at this point I've done the red and I've done the black. I also have the white done for the eyes. I'm going to mask off all of those parts again and start airbrushing him in silver. So really kind of a layered process here as to what I airbrushed when. So here I am going over the main body with silver. This is to my chrome silver paint. And going over all the parts of the model that aren't covered in mask with a nice metallic silver. I think the instructions say to use a couple different shades. I think that's a couple gunmetals, aluminum maybe, but I just did it all in silver. Now I will have to go back in there again and get the last of the red parts. I figured those would be easier to actually do the silver and mask off some small segments and go in and do a little bit of extra red. So most of the insides of his compartments look like they need to be kept red. So it's really easy with one piece of silver to go back in and mask those off and keep them red. These parts won't really be that visible. You'll have tools in front of them. I just want to get that red in there so we can kind of see a little bit of it. This is a prominent part. This definitely has to have a nice red on it. And of course we have to get the top of his head, those four kind of red arrowheads, all of those need their final coat of red airbrush. All right, here is a look at our robot with all the base coats of paint on him. He's looking much, much better than he was just bare and unpainted. So kind of look at him overall. And of course his clear dome and his hat still moves, his head still moves, as it should. Now these parts, once again, I kind of sanded them off. I did those in gunmetal. And all of these parts were done in chrome. I took them to a gunmetal. I took the chrome off just with some household bleach. Just soak them in a little bit of bleach for a moment. Soak them in bleach for about a day, and then the chrome comes right off. Next up, we have to decal. Now, typically, the decals from round 2 are fantastic, and of course, this was no exception. The decals are strong, they react well to the water, they stay very, very well. A few of them do have some fit issues, which I will talk about in a moment. I'm not sure if I mention it in the next part of the video, but the black kind of earpieces, I felt those decals were a little oversized. The black kind of trapezoids that kind of go where his ears are, those probably need to be trimmed down a little bit, or in reality, just paint those. Those are easy enough to paint. But as you can see, they come off the decal paper well, they can form well, they stay where they're supposed to. So the decals are quality. There are a few fit things to be aware of on the eyes and the parts that wrap around his legs. And I will talk about that in just a moment. But once I'm done decaling him, the model is just about finished. All right, we have V.I.N.C.E.N.T decaled, and there were some decals that gave me some trouble. First, these that go along the leg. Now, the leg is beveled, so you can see that kind of 45-degree tilt for that edge. Now, this decal is actually supposed to go all the way to this outside edge, but a flat decal really can't bend around that angle unless you cut some slats in it so it can fold over on itself. I didn't kind of realize that it was supposed to go over that 45-degree edge until I had it wet and coming off the paper. So I pushed it up further than it should and kind of ended up a little bit there. So when you build this model, you really should cut some slits here to let it fold over on that edge. And that decal should wrap all the way around over to here. That'll save it from going up here. Same thing, there's actually a decal that's supposed to go here as well. And I wasn't able to get that one to fit for the same reason. And by the time I had these two on, I decided just to put these two on the same way so they would match. Now the other decals that gave me some trouble are the decals for the eyes. And I'm not sure if the decal film is just bigger than the opening or it's because the eyes aren't entirely flat. But the decals did not lay flat there. They did wrinkle a bit. And that might actually be better just to paint those black pupils. Really, the decals are just white with black pupils. So I'd recommend just painting those. But overall, a very nice little build, and now that he's decaled, it's time to outfit our little robot. So let's start with the legs. So you can use these extenders if you want him posed with these kind of balls all the way out. I prefer him just to be like this, so we're going to just take the balls themselves without the extenders, push those in. That looks pretty good. There he is with his legs. Now you get several parts like this, so you can have tools coming out to the side or tools coming out in front. If you don't do tools coming out the side, they do have some of his claws here that you can put in that place so that you can see the impression of tools being nicely folded up against him. Here we go. All right, so let's do a tool coming out here, and we'll make that one of his cutters. And you have these in open or closed. You could also do kind of one of his clamps. I'm going to do a closed off clamp back here. And we'll do a drill right here. It's looking pretty good. Can also do it just like that with kind of the clear piece. And of course we still have his nice clear dome, movable head, movable cap. You also have these little doors you can use to kind of cover up those pieces if you don't want them showing. So this is my completed V.I.N.C.E.N.T model. A very fun project, a little different than a lot of things. It definitely takes more work than a lot of modern kits to get things to really look good. And I feel this build is passable. There are definitely things I would have done differently. Cutting those decals so they can wrap around that beveled edge would absolutely be key. You know, I don't actually know if anybody would ever notice that, but because I know it's wrong, it's probably gonna bother me for a bit. So cut those so that you can wrap them around the edge. And the eyes will probably bother me a little bit just because it would be so simple. Just take a piece of masking tape, use a hole punch to cut a little hole, and then just airbrush it. But overall, he's fun. I love the posability. I love the tools, the claws, the clippers, the things you can add on to him to kind of pose it. You can see I have left kind of that central node right there above his screen open, because when you get the other robot, if you want to put them together, that of course is the tool that V.I.N.C.E.N.T uses kind of for the kill shot of the villain robot. And yeah, you know, V.I.N.C.E.N.T actually goes toe-to-toe with the bad robot in the black hole, which is something R2-D2 never really did in Star Wars. So V.I.N.C.E.N.T's got that on him, but very fun. to kind of have something that everybody's going to pose Vincent differently. Everybody's going to use different accessories. Kind of a neat little piece to do different things with. Now, I never got the stand to work. You know, as you can see here, I actually drilled a hole in the stand and put a little hole in Vincent himself, and I mounted him on a rod. The model comes with a thin S-shaped wire hook that will make him look a little bit more like he's floating, and in my opinion it was just too weak. It would not hold him properly. I could never get it to work, so I just went with a rod. So looking at Vincent, looks pretty good. You know, I was pretty happy with the kind of shoulder seams that I was able to do here. Remember those from the start of the video where they were just completely out of whack with each other. I managed to get those looking pretty good. There's some of those wrinkled eyes. He looks a little deranged with those eye wrinkles. And though that is kind of the oversized ear decal. Once again, just paint that. You're just painting a raised surface black and gray. Easier to do that than use the decals. But a fun little guy. I enjoy him very much. He's different than everything else on my shelf, and I think that's a big point in his favor. Just very unique, and obviously, yes, he's got to just be a response to R2-D2, just a little more fun, a little more personality. Yeah, I like it. It's a good addition to the collection, and I'm definitely looking forward to additional kits coming out from the Black Hole. You can order Vincent at Cult TV Man Hobby Shop, a wonderful place to buy models. They are a sponsor of the channel, but they are overall just a wonderfully supportive storefront that sells many genre model kits that are hard to find anywhere else. So they really make an effort to support the niche and the smaller interest models. So a wonderful place for us to throw our support behind. And once again, thank you for following the builds. Hopefully the builds will start coming out sooner. It seems like there's a lot of products coming out on the horizon and some old ones that I'm going to get to. But thank you all for following, and I'll be back very soon.